Wednesday, October 4th on the Sleepers podcast. There's been adversity this morning. I'm angry, and I don't know. We're live from a place of anger today. Carter, what's your surprise?
Well, my surprise is that I wish I had something like some balloon animals or some type of magic trick to make you happier. But keeping it really simple this morning, I had a tough night last night. My dog woke up at like 4:30, wanted to go outside. So I assumed he had to go to the bathroom or something like that. So this is already my second coffee. I'm really dying. He was up, wouldn't come inside for about 35 minutes, just wouldn't come inside. I don't know if he saw something or maybe saw an animal, a creature of some sort. Yes, I'm about to lick this. Sorry, Meg. And
you don't have to lick it. Like, you can literally make it without licking that.
Yeah, I know, but so I got a little extra little foam here. I'm gonna sprinkle a little cinnamon in there as well. Spice it up a little bit, and add it to my coffee here.
Great.
Look at that. I mean, look at that.
I don't have the patience for this today. Can I move on while you do this?
Sure.
Right. Here's a quick rundown of my adversity this morning. Found out the really nice microphone cord that I use for my really nice microphone broke in the middle of transporting it from my parents' house back to my house. So great. Had to adjust on the fly, bust out an old microphone we probably haven't used since the locker room days. And I don't even know if it's working. It might sound like shit. So I apologize to anybody if the quality's bad. Was that coffee bad? It looks like you took a sip and didn't love the first returns.
No, that is delicious.
Oh, great. I'm glad.
It's very good.
Meanwhile, I'm in literal hell on Twitter fighting off Carson Cooper minions who are upset that I compared a third center that averaged 1-1 last year to a former Michigan State center who averaged 1-1 last year. I feel like I'm in the twilight zone and I want to yell about it, but Carter won't let me do that as a segment today. So we're going to save that for tomorrow. Are you now eating an energy bar?
Yeah, it's actually it's a coffee caramel protein bar from Good Cravings, and it actually has caffeine in it. So it's like a coffee protein bar. It's delicious.
This is tiptoeing on the verge of disrespectful at this point. Like, you're doing a bit, I get that, but now you're just eating a 5-course meal on the pod? That's what we're doing?
Oh, I'm sorry, Greg. Am I not hitting my calorie goal for today?
Should we get some ASMR here? Is this why? So, okay, let's discuss. Maybe all of my adversity is a direct result of bad karma for me making a simple joke at your expense that I thought was hilarious and clearly a joke. But you were a little offended. Would you like to address yesterday's tweet from me?
I just didn't know where it came from. I thought the energy was great. You were fresh off at 84 where you faced adversity. And I don't know. I didn't think the first tweet I would see after that was saying that I eat 4,000 calories a day.
I just thought it was funny. Okay. I thought that who was the player that was trying to eat 4,000 calories?
Carson Cooper.
Oh, it just so happened to be Carson Cooper. Great. Yeah, he's just eating 4,000 calories. He said a great quote, all-time quote. My diet is basically whatever I'm eating, eat more of it. I thought that was hilarious. I made a little joke at Carson's expense, said that that's been his diet for 30 years, and look where it's got him. Apparently, no one thought that was funny. I thought that had like viral.
I thought it was funny. I think it
got 2 likes and like 7 people messaged me like this was mean. I'm like, shit, I'm sorry. So I'd like to formally apologize for that. Apparently, that's why I just am through hell. That's why I have Carson Cooper minions after me when I'm praising Xavier Booker. By the way, that entire conversation comes from a place of me talking about how good Xavier Booker is, and all I get is people begging me to be nicer about their third string center that averaged 1-1 that's going to be the 4th string center this year. Anyways, I did shoot an 84 yesterday, but that feels like weeks ago at this point. I feel like I've aged 2 years in the last 24 hours. And meanwhile, also we were 0-1 on bets today. So great. Started off the day with a Medvedev loss as a -200 favorite.
YouTube comment?
Yeah. What's your comment of the day?
Okay. A lot of the comments yesterday were us kind of I actually don't want to pick a specific comment. I just want to give a quick overview and put into words what we received yesterday, because it was pretty much all the same in different forms. And it was centered around this, and it was centered around the Urban Meyer thing. You guys are soft. You guys are losers. continue to be in purgatory while you hold on to your morals. You're so soft. You're so soft. Who are you to judge people morally? Basically, all the comments surrounding that. We got about 40 of those yesterday. So thank you to all who commented. We hear you, and we get it. You guys want Urban. We're, as a Sleepers podcast, we're taking a stance that we don't want Urban. That's our opinion. Deal with it.
I haven't read those comments yet. Apparently, I need to dive through, especially in my current mental state.
No, you do not. In your current state, I'm going to have to ask you to refrain from those comments, please.
Veto power. Okay. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay being in the minority that doesn't want Urban Meyer. I'm happy to go on record and say that. Like I said, it makes me pretty bummed. I'm pretty bummed that this is the collective. Like I didn't need to see one comment that was like, LOL, F morals, we need wins, but let alone 40 of those. All right, great. Really reevaluating some things. You've kind of hinted twice in the last week to me, I think privately, you've hinted like, if this happens, I don't think I can be a Michigan State fan anymore. Is that a real offer, or realistically you would go down with the ship, right?
I don't know. I would have to address it. I would not be pleased. But I don't know. Like, is there a way to be out here like I'm just not supporting Michigan State, but like I don't know. It'd be a very, very strange thing to navigate. But I lean towards like I'm just not rocking with this. I'm not supporting it.
Yeah, an estranged relationship type thing. Yeah. That's where I'm like, obviously I'm a mutant anyway, and I'm essentially the worst Michigan State alum of all time with my rooting interests. But I really do care and root for Michigan State football in a big way, and I care about the university, and like it just is really sad to me. It's bumming me out that all these people I went to school with are so opposite in what they care about here than me. And I'm having a hard time like squaring that with how to approach rooting for this football program right now. So
I still truly believe there's no chance they hire Urban. I don't care. Like I understand the fan base is kind of like, yeah, we want Urban, but I'm not buying it. I just don't see him doing it.
Yeah, I hope not. I don't know. Weird stuff. All right. I'm going to try and do my best to change my personal vibes for the rest of this episode. So shout out to me, first of all, for trying that. Should be some interesting topics today. I feel like these topics, a couple of these are like in line with the vibes of the opening of this episode. Armando Bacot had a crazy quote. So we're going to open the show with that when we get to segments about Caleb Love. Boogie Fland, there are serious rumors and buzz that he's nearing a commitment. We've got some percentages thrown out there from Trilly and from Andrew Slater. And then we have the inaugural SleepWalkers top 17 poll in honor of the mid rankings when we used to do 17 teams or 17 things because 17 was the most mid number. We asked all of the Discord members to give us votes on who the best teams in the country are. We tallied it up and we have an official consensus SleepWalkers top 17 for the first time. So someone will put that in graphic form later today, and we'll talk about that for the third segment. But first, we're going to do comments from the Discord. The Discord was blessed with a surprise yesterday.
Oh shit, you're right. He's here. He's here. Guy is in the Discord. And in typical Guy fashion, shows up, name is Guy, no caps, just underscored on a lowercase g, lowercase u, lowercase y, shows up and says, "Hi, I'm here." Like that's it. And it gets instantly like 30 reactions to it. Everyone's excited. And he made his presence felt immediately. Guy special in the Discord too.
Yeah, huge point for those who believed us when we said that we are not Guy and we actually had a Guy. Well, now it's official. He's in the Discord alongside us. And Guy's been doing a great job. Once again, another list yesterday, our top 10 shooters in the country. We got Greg McDermott, Creighton's head coach, retweeting it. Trey Alexander retweeting and following. So he's continuing to get us a lot of engagement. He's been crushing it. We're very thankful for Guy's role in all this. And now he's in the Discord, where coincidentally, Car, as soon as Guy joined the Discord, we had the most activity in a Discord since we've opened the Discord. Last night, like every single channel has like 100 new comments. So I'm going to try to sift through the comments since yesterday in here and make sure we get to the important ones. Tristan Freeman, Busting Brackets, says, "I'm already not feeling this episode 1 minute in. Ain't nobody asking for water takes in the morning."
Not everyone wakes up and drinks a Mountain Dew Code Red, Tristan.
Fam says, contrarily, I audibly laughed at the Value World picture before even opening the episode.
Don't sleep on Value World. I'm going back there. I was serious when I sent that to you in a text. I think there's some hidden gems in there.
Fact of the day from Ryan the Lion. The small dot over the lowercase I and J is called a tittle. You're welcome.
Next comment.
Ryan the Lion is back. He says, game on the line. Nobody is taking Cam Spencer over Tyson Walker for a jumper.
There's probably a contingent out there taking Cam Spencer over Tyson, but it's also different. Like, you think back to Cam Spencer's winner at Mackey, I believe it was. Like, it was a play ran for Cam Spencer. I don't know if I'm giving the ball to Cam Spencer, letting him dribble himself into the shot. I think I'd rather have Tyson in that situation. But on a kick out, wide open, I think it's not consensus that everyone's picking Tyson.
I think it should be consensus that if it's a kick out, it's Cam Spencer. I think he's like, his numbers have been better. And if it's just a wide open catch and shoot, like if we were playing the NBA 3-point contest, Cam Spencer would be a pretty heavy favorite over Tyson, right? Like,
probably, yeah.
That's just what it is. If it's just set shooting with nothing else, grab the ball, shoot it. Cam Spencer, I think on paper, is a pretty clear, better shooter than Tyson Walker. Tyson's a great shooter. If it's get the ball, get out of his way, it's 100% Tyson Walker. He's probably number one on the list, even over Nigel Pack and Max Asmus. But again, like my response to Ryan's comment was like, wide open, I might take Cam because Cam would shoot it. Tyson might not, honestly.
Hey,
have we not ran into some issues with that?
You're talking like 2 years ago, Tyson. That's not the same. We don't deal with that issue anymore.
What happened on the final play of your season last year?
He got ripped up.
Oh, okay.
Trying to shoot it.
Oh, okay. I'm just looking for data points. That's all. Okay. Like, I mean, if we're gonna act like he's the best in the country, just give him the ball, get out of the way. Like, what happened there?
He got ripped up.
Huh. Okay. To be fair, Cam Spencer got ripped up in the NIT too. So
I was gonna say, what happened on the last play of your season?
It was tough. Terrence Williams, man. Yeah. That's why Terrence Williams isn't on any top 10 of guys lists. And then Ryan responded to me and said, "You're right. Tyson might not shoot it. He would lob it to Madi Sissoko for a 720 windmill two-handed tomahawk at the buzzer." I love this world for you, right? I really do. Fam was on my side of the Cam thing. He said, "I don't know. Cam's kind of strapped."
Hey, yo.
What do you mean by that? G-Boo is back. He says, "I agree on the Booker takes, but how do you guys think he will be able to defend a physical center like Dane Danger, for example? That's what worries me with Book."
So this is where I come from this stance. Any good center is eating any of our centers up. Like Dane Danger was eating the centers up we had last season. So I'm willing to trade off the defensive deficiencies if I can get more on the offensive end. Like, I don't think there's that much of a difference defensively between Booker and the other centers on this basketball team. I think there's a clear distinction on Booker being better offensively. So in my eyes, I want that trade-off. At least I'm getting something on one end of the floor.
I could be wrong. I'm willing to state openly that I might be wrong with this projection. I think there's a huge difference between Booker defensively and the three guys. Like, I agree with you on the offensive side of this, but I just feel strongly that at a minimum, Xavier Booker is going to block shots if he's on the floor as a center in college basketball. Like, he can be lazy and not chase this guy to the perimeter and struggle in pick and roll coverage. All of that might be true. But if he just floats around the rim, I think he's going to block some shots. Last year's 3 Michigan State centers had historically low block rates, like all 3 of them. And I know we're not like look at the advanced analytics podcast, but like, Jackson Kohler led this team in block percentage in minutes at 5%. That's horrendous. Like, I can dig up guards who had higher block rates than those 3 centers. And they're just not rim protectors at all. And Xavier Booker, I think is like, even if he doesn't do anything else, I think he just off his wingspan, his frame, all of that is going to block some shots. And I think that's an important thing for this Michigan State team. But you're right. He might struggle with big beast centers. Luckily, there's not as many of those in the Big Ten this year. And I don't know. We'll see. I don't think he's the full-time center. I think some people thought that was my stance. Like, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if Izzo closed games with Joey Hauser at center last year, I don't know why he wouldn't do that with Xavier Booker. And that says something about how he feels about the actual centers on this team. Coy responded and said he might not be able to guard Dane Danger in the low post, but Danger also can't run the floor with him or deal with him in space. That's pretty true, right?
That's semi-true. I don't know if Danger's a good example for that.
You just rocking with your guy Dane?
I think people really need to realize what Dane is here. He's Joel Embiid with a bad metabolism.
You like the Dane Danger ran a 5-minute mile earlier this week?
That's impressive as hell.
Do you believe that? Do you believe that?
Yeah, 100%.
Really? Do we have any eyewitnesses to that we trust? Can we get News Channel 3 in there?
Honestly, I could probably text some people and see if it's real.
I would like to know, genuinely. Can you do some digging for the Discord?
Yeah, I actually will.
All right, yeah, shoot our boy a text today. Travis Nelson says, let me start off by saying that you're right. MSU should get a coach that respects women 100%. That shouldn't be hard. Obviously, turning down Meyer would be off the field stuff like that. What worries me is that Michigan State won't get a big fish. They'll settle on an average guy, and more 7-5 seasons will ensue. Hopefully, they can land an Elko or a Dickert, but it also feels like MSU isn't in the position football-wise to turn down a guy like Meyer, but find a woman-respecting coach. Do you agree that Michigan State's not in a spot to turn down Urban Meyer if he wanted to come to Michigan State?
Yeah, unfortunately.
I agree with that too. Yeah, I agree with that too. I think that's a good point. But I think distinction is we don't believe Urban wants to come to Michigan State. We think this is more like fan base buzz.
Why would, I mean, even when you think about it, what actual reason would Urban want to come to Michigan State? Is it actually known that Urban wants to get back into coaching?
I think it's just all been speculation. Like
okay.
he hasn't come out and said he wants to coach. To me, if I'm Urban Meyer, which I'm not because I respect my wife, I'm waiting for the Alabama job. That's the only job I would leave for, I think. I'm waiting for Saban to step down. I'm hoping they call me, and then I'm jumping back in and moving down south. But I don't know. Maybe there's a part of Urban Meyer who is just petty. I think he's a petty guy, right? And he probably is upset that Ohio State kind of, I don't want to say ran him out, but it didn't end on the best terms. And then, go to a Michigan rival. That would be something, right?
Yeah, true. He does. I guess he does find some joy in beating Michigan. The one thing I will say is that I consider him a Midwest guy. So I think actually that would be,
I mean, wait, given the Florida roots though?
Yeah, but even so, I honestly, count me as naive in this situation. I didn't even know that Urban Meyer was at Bowling Green.
Oh yeah.
I honestly, I didn't even go that far back because someone in our YouTube comments, and I will say this, he listed Urban Meyer's whole resume, insane resume, just resume wise, truly wild, what he did.
He's a great football coach. Football coach. Can I get his dating resume?
No, I do not have a Derek Jeter style dating diamond situation.
Good. I'm glad. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I agree. If Urban said flat out, I want the Michigan State job, then wrap it up. But I don't believe that's what's happening here. Traveling Gonad says, if Booker completely flops, unplayable level, would you rather have Mady Sissoko or Gavin Schilling as the starting center on next year's team?
I'd rather have Gavin Schilling.
I think that's the right answer. Fun story, by the way. I watched the movie 50 Shades of Grey in theaters sitting directly behind Gavin Schilling.
I don't know how to feel about that.
It was incredibly distracting to me the entire time. I'm just saying.
Gavin Schilling was distracting you during 50 Shades of Grey?
I could not lock in on the mentality that college sophomore me needed on a date with my now wife, who she picked this movie, and I know it's ooh, risque type thing. I could not lock in on the mentality needed to perform at my best as a boyfriend because I was distracted by Michigan State starting center. It was really
respect.
Yeah, I like that. I agree. It's Gavin Schilling. This also, I think this kind of prompted, or it came right at the same time as a tweet I did yesterday that got me a lot of flack. which is why we're going to talk about Michigan State's front court State of the Union. Are you now eating chocolate?
No, that's the protein bar.
Oh, okay. We just have more. That looked like a piece of chocolate.
I just broke it off in this little bite-sized piece.
Okay, still hitting good.
It really is, honestly. I'm in a very good mood today. I'm sorry you're not.
I'm excited at your mood. I feel like the vibes are kind of turning my day around. But anyways, I tweeted a comp between the Deontay Davis team, because when Deontay Davis came in as a freshman, people were like, "Oh, he's lazy. He might not be that good." He only played 18 minutes a game as a freshman on that team. That team had a senior Matt Costello, first of all. That's why he didn't play more. But outside of Costello, it had Gavin Schilling, Colby Wallenman, and Kenny Goins. I think those three are very comparable to Michigan State's current three. Like Madi Sissoko and Gavin Schilling are similar impact-wise to me. Colby Wallenman and Carson Cooper have had identical numbers. Like the first year of Carson Cooper is identical to what Colby did his whole career. So maybe there's hope that changes, but right now that's the impact that he's given you. And Kohler and Goins, I think there's comp for, like slow starter, perimeter guy, kind of undersized, and maybe he turns into something as a senior. Who knows? But people didn't like that comparison is the point. So shout out to Traveling Gonad. We'll do a whole segment at some point on the State of the Union for Michigan State front court. Tristan's back. He says, hashtag not a political podcast, but in honor of Kevin McCarthy being ousted as speaker, which college basketball coaches would y'all oust in order to get their programs back on track?
I mean, Juwan. I'm trying to think. Who would I oust to get the program back on track? You know, last season, if you asked me this like 7 months ago, I'd say it's Boeheim. I think he just needs to hang it up, but he already did that. So I don't know. I think I'll go with Juwan unless some other coach is slipping my mind right now.
I like the Kenny Payne call out most on that list.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, D Rose SAT. I was looking at the list. I didn't read it. His list is Kenny Payne seems like the default 101. Other names: Howard at Michigan, Davis at UNC, Neptune at Nova. I don't love that list is 4 black coaches. I'll tell you that. That reads like a certain media member's favorite lists of coaches that are on the hot seat every year. That
has me thinking that D Rose SAT might be Gottlieb.
Man, why'd you have to go there? Keep it vague. I mean, yeah, I want Juwan out. I'll throw Fran McCaffrey out there. Sorry. I just will. I left whatever that Carver Hawkeye. I left that with a cardboard sign that said, "Hire me. I will fix Iowa basketball." And I believe that.
Honestly, there's a lot of Big Ten coaches I think I would throw in this.
Yeah, can we bump guard out of here?
Yeah, honestly, hurts me to say bump Hoiberg out of there.
That one hurts. That was a line too far.
I'm sorry. It hurt me more than it hurt you.
Okay. Melba 937 said, listening to today's episode right now, I will out myself as another lady on this board. Wouldn't expect anyone to know that based on my username, though. Shout out to you, Melba, first of all. And thank you for outing yourself, because I was totally under the presumption that there were no women in the Discord. So it's fantastic to know that we do now have at minimum 2. Maybe there are more people that we don't know are women in the Discord, but we appreciate you. That's good to know. Thank you for being here.
And Melba's been in there this whole time, and you know what? Never been an issue with the Discord disrespecting women. So let that be known, okay? It's not, we didn't have the Trump locker room talk going on in there, all right? It's a wholesome place.
Crazy.
Yes, there might be some mean things said about coaches, but damn it, at the end of the day, we're respecting women.
Crazy how easy it is to respect women, genuinely. Coy. Actually, I sent a little DM here. Trilly saw our video, or somebody that follows Trilly saw our video, because Trilly DM'd me and said Monsanto at 8 is a felony. He said, this is a real text that I got after your list. So I wanted him higher on the list. I had him 6 on my personal rankings. How did you feel about Damari Monsanto?
Yeah, I definitely would have him probably in like the 5 to 6 range. I think he's an elite shooter. Like the volume is there, the percentage is there. Also, for dipping into things such as like body type, like the frame is there as well. I'm just saying,
frame matters for your favorite shooters.
Kinda. Like I there's something about, you know, like isn't Monsanto like 6'7", 6'8"?
So you're looking for like a lanky 6'7" shooter. That's what you're looking
with a
for.
rat. Yeah, like it's something about like a 6'5" and up shooter with a ratchet. Like Jordan Hawkins was fun.
I feel like you're describing me at Bronson Open gyms right now. Like when I walk in, like I'm the lankiest guy there.
Are you okay? Don't take this as disrespectful.
I
Please
will.
don't.
I'm
Please
going
don't.
to. I'm going to.
Okay, you are okay. How are you at like reading screens? Like, are you good at
Fantastic.
like you know
Fantastic.
when the bump, you know when the curl hard, like you know when the fade, you have that.
Fantastic. But if I'm curling, I'm not curling to actually get the ball. Like I'm actively upset if I curl to get the ball. I'll fake the cut like I'm trying to get the ball and curl because it's the right read, but that's all decoy dummy action. If you actually give me the ball in the curl, nothing good's going to happen. But I will always make the right read. I read them great. My IQ, I'm telling you, you've played with me a little. You always play against me. You probably don't notice, but like I am an elite IQ open gym guy. I am.
I never said you weren't a high IQ guy.
I know you just posing the question. I'm just responding. Like that's my strength on the court. Lanky shooter.
I mean, Greg. I mean, yeah. Why wouldn't it be?
Okay, that's what we're doing.
What?
That?
What do you mean?
You know what I mean. That's what we're doing.
What? Make it quick.
That's what we're doing, huh? That's what we're doing. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Oh boy.
We got to get hoop run soon, by the way.
Yeah, I'd love to. Tristan,
I don't know if I have any more Bronson guest passes. I've really been milking those.
I'm gonna show up. Can you put me in contact with somebody in your league that's not on your team? I want to show up on your opponent's team next week.
You can hit up Adam Luker.
I could hit up Adam Luger. If you're listening to this, I want to play on your team against Carter. Line that up for me. I will make sure that I'm there and I will make sure I play well. Tristan Freeman said, AKA, we don't want to hear about Doug and Terrace Reed, Greg. That was in response to Coy saying there needs to be a rule that if a player is on a list and that team isn't going to make the tournament, no one can complain about them being too low. Do you like that rule?
I do. And it also had me in my head making up fake hypothetical transfers for Monsanto.
Where is he going in your fake hypothetical world?
I actually had him on Indiana in my fake hypothetical world.
It's a fun world. That's a really fun world.
Wouldn't that be fun?
I love that. I would throw him on Kentucky. You put him next to Antonio Reeves.
Yeah, that'd be really fun. And you had the whole Vanderbilt like SEC. I'm sorry, he goes to Wake Forest. My apologies. So that doesn't fit.
Nod and act like it did fit anyway.
Yeah, that my apologies. Or maybe like even if he went to like UNC, like I'm thinking like an ACC transfer. Like instead of Cormac Ryan, you get Monsanto.
Yeah, that's crazy. That would have been really good. Coy was also upset on behalf of us. He said these MFing Butler Twitter accounts simping for DJ Davis. Try to win more than 2 Big East games. Until then, shut up.
Coy said it, not me.
I mean, people just get upset on lists, man. Like we had a lot of replies like, wow, people still sleeping on Gibson Jimerson. Like, and I thought about him. I threw his name out, by the way, when we were talking about the list, but like it's not disrespect if you're not on a top 10 in the country list. Like, I'm sorry. He's not like a consensus best shooter in the country. He's just a good player. Nothing wrong with that.
It does make me feel good that it means something to be on a guy's list.
Yeah, and now Guy jumped in the comments and said that was the argument against PJ Hall too. Guy really wanted PJ Hall on the best shooters list, and you shut that down immediately.
Yeah, it doesn't fit. I understand you wanted to put like a front court player, but it's just the attempts aren't there. The percentages are good, but I don't think he should be anywhere near a top 10 shooters list.
Yeah, I don't understand where Carson Cooper was. The more I think about it, the potential's clearly through the roof. And I feel like it was wildly disrespectful for us to leave off a guy that averaged 1 and 1 and didn't attempt a 3-pointer on our best shooters in the country list. How insane of me to leave Carson Cooper off. Frisbee 31 is back in. He says, rank what you think matters to players in committing or transferring to a team. Things like winning program, coach's style, playing time, NIL, ability to get them to the next level, school they like, make March Madness, family, friends, influence. It's a long list. Give me your top 3.
I think it's NIL. I think it's NIL. I think it's NIL is one. I don't care. I think the bag. It seems that most players aren't even starting conversations until the bag is discussed. I'm hearing now that there needs to be a bag for visits. Like I need a bag just to visit your school, and then I'll consider it.
See, that's
And
great
then there's a
business.
separate number.
That's Manzellian business, and I love it.
Yeah. So it's NIL, and then I think it's next level, and then I think it's winning.
Okay. Interesting in that order. This is a cop-out answer, but I genuinely believe it's the right answer. I think it's different for every kid in the country. I really do. NIL is probably the most consistent, but there's definitely a lot of guys out there that have not made their decisions entirely based on NIL. I could rank what would matter the most to me personally, and I will do that. And it would be role 1, it would be NIL 2, it would be like potential to win 3.
Can I pick what I think would be the most underrated part of that of the factors?
Yeah.
I think the most underrated part, or the part that doesn't get brought up the most, is actually the like the geographical factor.
Mm-hmm.
Like kids going back and playing closer to home, I think plays a lot more of a difference than people give credit for. Like obviously NIL is very prevalent, but there's also a heavy factor of like when a kid enters the portal, where's this kid from? Where's this kid go? Oh, this kid's from Illinois. Daddy Brad's on him. Like that type of situation.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with that. Unless you are Mark Turgeon at Maryland, then it just doesn't matter at all. But outside of that, very important. I love that question. I love those answers. Good job, everyone involved. Basketball Jones is here. He says, if you had to try and pick an NCAA tournament winner, would you rather A, pick any 2 teams of your choice in the field this year, or B, choose whatever team lands Cooper Flag for next year?
I'm taking 2 teams from this year.
Talk me through the rationale there, and who are the 2 teams?
So I'm looking at it. If Cooper Flag goes to UConn next season, I think that Stephon Castle and Klingon are gone. So and I think Cam Spencer's gone. Tristan Newton is gone. I'm not sure what UConn's recruiting class is looking like going into next season. To be honest with you, I'd try to look into it a little deeper. Obviously, Cooper Flag would probably draw some interest of a lot of top players, but I just think that would be kind of bare. And then with Duke, I think there's a little bit more of a carryover factor. Like I think Tyrese Proctor is gone. Filipowski will be gone, but like maybe they get guys like Mark Mitchell back. Maybe they get, some of the freshmen back too. And, Sean Stewart, TJ Power, and Jared McCain. Then you throw in Cooper Flag into the fold there. I think you have something there. So I think him going to Duke has me considering picking the team that gets Cooper Flag. But like, I rather just pick, I don't even know what 2 teams it would be. Just give me like Michigan State and Creighton, or Purdue and Texas, or something like that.
I feel you got to pick 2 if you're going the pick 2 route. Like this is a you pick 2. You're at Panera. Pick 2.
Okay. I go Michigan State and Kansas.
Okay. As your financial advisor, I would advise you that was a horrible investment. Okay. So my initial thought was definitely to pick 2, but then the more I thought about it, I don't feel like whatever 2 you pick, I don't think you have a 50% chance of winning. Like this year feels pretty wide open. There's a lot of elite teams. If I had to pick 2, I would probably pick Kansas and Duke, or maybe Purdue up there. Kansas, Duke, Purdue, but like you can't cover all 3 of those. That feels bad. What are you laughing about?
I'm sorry, the guy just sent his list.
Oh, great. I'm really excited to look at it. I'm going to look at it after we finish the comments.
Sorry.
It's all good. It's a great promo for tomorrow. But I think there's a better chance Cooper Flag's Duke team next year is like separated from the pack than any 2 teams are this year, because Edey's gone. That's part of it. Like,
yeah, true.
And we don't know who else. Like Kansas could lose a lot from their team.
I'm starting to rethink it now too, because Duke also has one of my favorite players in high school basketball coming in Isaiah Evans next year. Literally Brandon Ingram 2.0.
Yeah, I think I'm
disgusting.
I'm going to take Flag, even though everything is telling me like don't pick a national champ based on the best recruit. That just rarely ever works out. I mean, going all the way back to 2003 is the last time that happened, I think, or Anthony Davis, I guess. But I don't know. I'll take Duke and Cooper Flag. And also, you spending any time thinking of Cooper Flag on UConn, I think was a mistake. I can't believe you led with that side. He's Duke. He's Duke bound.
I know, but it's the final 2.
Fair.
There's a world.
Fair. Scrolling through the rest of this, Guy asked if we're in on Grant McCaslin at Texas Tech. I want a TBD. Like I'm not in or out yet. I want a TBD.
Yeah, I'm not in or out yet either.
Okay. Travis Nelson comes back to his comment earlier about the Michigan State coaching and Urban. He says, Greg saying Narduzzi is his prediction really emphasizes this point. Both Urban and Narduzzi would be bad for very different reasons. It's true.
Yeah. And unfortunately, if I had those two choices, I would take Narduzzi. And that pains me.
It's true. Can I this might be the hottest take I've said on this program this year. I don't think Narduzzi would be that bad. I really don't. I'm not saying he's a killer. I don't think there's like immediate 11 win seasons coming, but like I do strongly believe he knows how to coach football. And I think he's had good pit teams. He hasn't had great pit teams. He's lost a lot of games he shouldn't. But weirdly, like he's just such a chip on the shoulder guy that like muddied this up with Michigan State because he tried to take shots at Michigan State. But like being a chip on the shoulder guy is a huge part of being a good football coach. So if he actually was on the train again with Michigan State, I think we would all really enjoy his chip on the shoulder bullshit. It's just we don't like it now because it's targeting us.
Yeah, I just can't get over the fact that he's targeting us. Like, I know it's not a apples to apples comparison, but hiring Narduzzi back would be like how the U.S. men's national team for soccer just hired Greg Berhalter back after firing him.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. A little couples therapy could help for sure. Guy then said he volunteers to make $9.5 million, put a mediocre team together, respect women, and still be an upgrade. Okay. Like Guy's at the top of our list right now. Clearly he's the top of our list, not guys lists. And then to end this today, we got a couple from Malik Perry. Of course, Malik had to come in this morning, 5:56 a.m. By the way, shout out to Malik. I don't know what you're doing at that hour, but it's impressive stuff. Back to the Tyson Walker or Cam Spencer, who would you rather have shoot it? He said, ask Purdue that question. Notable to note that Cam Spencer hit a winner at Mackey against Purdue last year.
He did. I mean, they don't have to shoot it. They throw it into the National Player of the Year, and he scores game winners like he did against Michigan State.
No, he's saying like Purdue should be afraid of Tyson. That's what he's saying. Like,
I thought he was saying who on Purdue is going to be the guy that you're scared of.
No. He's saying Tyson Walker gamed Purdue. So like the answer is obviously Tyson over Cam Spencer.
But Cam Spencer hit a game winner on Purdue, and Tyson tied the game, and then Purdue won the game.
That's what I'm saying.
I thought he was saying that there's no one on Purdue you're scared of to knock down a shot. That's what I.
No. He's making the point that Tyson hit a game winner against Purdue, but Cam Spencer did the same. And then Derek pointed that out, by the way. Shout out to D-Mac. I also got the email for D-Mac's. He does like a college basketball pick 'em every year. You pick teams, and then it's season long. How many wins they get, you can win some money. One of the most fun things I've ever done. I don't know if Derek's opening the invite up to other people, but I'll just say on record, Derek, I bet we could get a lot of people in the Discord wanting to do that. So if you're interested and you want to open that up, let the Discord know. Let me know. I can help organize that. And then finally from Malik, he says on the Booker takes, defensively, he would have problems. That's why he should play the 4 until he gets enough strength. Nothing to do with the list, but Carr's path to the NBA is easier than Booker's. Carr has to prove he has a jump shot. That's it.
Surface level, I guess. Yeah. Also got to see what Carr's like defensively, too.
Yeah. I think there's a lot with Carr that we need to see still. Love him as a prospect, but like just because you're physically there and do have like that doesn't necessarily make you like you got to be in the right spots. You got to process the game at a high level. You got to prove some value offensively besides just crashing offensive rebounds. And like, we don't know if he can dribble, pass, be in the right spots, shoot, like help side defense.
I will say the 2 full games that I watched when he did play in the NIBC with Legacy, he did look like really good as far as like processing the game, doing the right things, outside of the jumper, of course, but everything else did seem like it was clicking.
That's good. Yeah. I mean, again, very pro Cohen Carr here. Don't think we should be comparing Carr to Booker much. Like they can both be great. They don't have to be one.
It'd be pretty nice if they both are great, huh?
Could happen. It could happen. In fact, you know what else could happen? They could both be great, but Carson Cooper could be even better than all of them. Genuinely. Maybe first team All-American season coming. I don't know. I've just heard that. I've heard speculation. I'm not saying it. Great day, comment section. Appreciate you. You've turned my mojo around greatly. This is fantastic. I'm having so much fun. Let's move to my favorite players to talk about in the country, Armando Bacot and Caleb Love. I tried to say that with a straight face. I really did. John Fanta, friend of the show, I think. We got another nice little sleeper shout out on the DTF podcast this week through the Field of 60.
Our good friend, John Fanta.
Our good friend, John Fanta. He had a nice sit-down interview with Armando Bacot, and there's a quote that Fanta pulled out and clipped this morning that is just incredible to me. I'm going to read it word for word. This is Fanta's tweet. Armando Bacot to me on Caleb Love transferring to Arizona. Quote, sometimes in life, you've got to get divorced. You have to do things like that. Caleb is like the wife you divorced, but you both still have a kid together. Thank you, Armando Bacot, for that gem. Thank you, John Fanta, for pulling that gem out of him. Carter, two of my favorite players in the country, Armando Bacot and Caleb Love. Just a simple divorce. That's all it is. Little messy. We got to figure out who's got the kids here and there. Do you love this quote? Like, what does this quote mean to you?
This quote is just hilarious to me because I think that he tried to make it come across as like, this is just a clean divorce. You know, we're going to be okay. We're still friends. We still, you know, hashtag share the kid, you know, make everything great, make everything good. That's not the case in this. Let me make this very, very clear. This is a situation in the divorce where the one partner is trying to one up the other one. Armando wants Arizona to miss the tournament. Armando wants Caleb Love to be have one of the worst seasons of all time at Arizona. I truly believe that he wants it. And this is vice versa. Caleb Love wants to be able to say, yeah, you thought just getting rid of me would make things all good and rainbows and whatnot. And it didn't. And now I'm with my new girl in Arizona and we're having a great time and I'm cooking. And when I say cooking, I mean, I'm shooting 41% from the field. I mean, that's just is what it is. So hilarious quote, very Armando Bacot-like. I think he's a quote machine. You know, when you're in college long enough, you probably develop that skill. So let's make it very, very clear, though. This is a messy divorce where one partner needs to one up the other one. And I don't know which partner in this case is going to do it. I truly think that both are actually going to have good seasons and their teams are going to be good, but we'll see who goes further.
Yeah, they're both going to have good years. They're both going to have good offensive numbers, even if they're just the same players they have been. Caleb Love can be the inefficient guy and play a big role on a good Arizona team. Armando Bacot can get 18 and 16 a night, and North Carolina might be mediocre or they might be good. Who knows? Like their legacies kind of are what they are, and for better or for worse, they are intertwined. Shout out to my mom and pops because I don't have a ton of experience with divorce, like loving family, mom and dad relationship. I've witnessed a great marriage my whole life, but I have some like assumptions of what experiencing a divorce is like that I think apply here. First of all, I think it's a two-way street. I don't think like sometimes someone just messes up, makes a huge mistake or something, but it almost always ends in like some he said, she said. Like there are two sides to every story of every breakup, every divorce, whatever level of relationship. When it dies, there's two sides to what happened there. And I feel like publicly, all we've really gotten is the North Carolina side. Like all anyone's heard is, oh, Caleb Love's toxic. Oh, he was a bad locker room guy. Oh, he really like shot them out of games. We got to get this guy out and everything's going to be way better. Card, I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm starting to think that might not be the 100% truth here. Like, I think there needs to be some look in the mirror element of the guys in the North Carolina locker room to admitting that they played a role in how bad last year's team was. And the fact that their superstar is just coming out so publicly on record and not shying away from like, oh, it's a divorce. We had to get the ex-wife out. Like That's crazy to me. And I don't know if he was trying to say, like, I still got love for this person. It didn't read to me. Like, reading that quote did not read like that to me. It read to me like he messed up and he's gone. And I just wouldn't say that on record if I'm Armando Bacot, because I think he played a big role in part of why North Carolina had issues last year. And two, I think there's lingering effects to a divorce in general. Like we can act like, oh, everybody moved on and, better on to a better me, new me, all of that, whatever. There's lingering effects to this North Carolina locker room with Armando, clearly. Like whether or not Caleb Love is in there, his brain's still on Caleb Love. And I don't think it's going to be as easy to just kick him out and this team's suddenly good. And I don't know that it took this quote for me to think that. I've kind of been skeptical on North Carolina all offseason. You've been a lot higher on them than I am, but I feel like there's some lingering stuff here that's going to be there as long as Armando's there.
After this quote, I am less high on North Carolina. I will let that be known, because I think that, yes, it's a funny quote. It truly is. But he easily could have said, Caleb went his way. It's his decision. Wish him the best. He could have said that. But the whole divorce analogy makes it seem like he still got a little bit of, I don't know. He's still worried about Caleb. Like Caleb Love's presence is still felt in the locker room because everyone's still thinking about how they're going to be good because they got rid of him.
Yeah. I mean, general principle, I think if you're the guy giving quotes about your ex, you're kind of losing the breakup.
Yeah. Oh, you 100% are.
And so if we're like, let's assess these two sides of this breakup. We've got Caleb Love, who has left Chapel Hill, and he's now in a beautiful campus with lots of exciting, beautiful things around him in Arizona, on a good basketball team, playing for a good coach that could likely win the Pac-12 this year. And he's going to have a huge role on that team. And he hasn't said a word about his ex. He's just got some fire videos out, put a fire pic to the gram. Like Caleb Love, for lack of a better word, Cart, is living his best life out there in the West. And meanwhile, we're back here in Chapel Hill where I'm supposed to believe that they got the toxic guy out of here. Ooh, they're the one that broke up with the toxic ex. Well, you're still talking about the toxic ex. And sorry, no offense, but your new girl's Paxton Wojcik. Like, your new girl's Cormac Ryan. And I believe Paxton Wojcik follows us. I love him. But, like, it's not like we moved on from Caleb Love to more talented new girlfriends than Caleb Love. So, like, I'm just looking at Armando Bacot in the mirror right now. Like, he did a sit down with Jeff Goodman last week where he talked about leadership. And he said, oh, we've never had a leader. Well, who's your leader this year? And he was like, Cormac. Like, this is not good, dude. Like, look in the mirror, point a finger at yourself. Stop blaming Caleb Love, bringing up that he's your ex-wife. Like, move on. And I think, I don't know. I think this could be a rude wake-up call for North Carolina.
Yeah. And also, I want to go on record right now saying that if Sleepers ever got, a hypothetical divorce, there'd be a lot of prayers at night by me on your downfall and your next step as a podcaster.
This is horrible energy, man. I really this swung around. I started in a bad place. I got to a good place. And now I'm like, if we ever get divorced, I would pray that you lose.
I mean, maybe not pray that you lose, but it would bring me a little bit joy if you got like a value world Carter Elliott. Like that would bring me a little bit of joy.
I mean, I feel like I do a really good job of gassing you up at all times as far as being a podcaster. Like I might take my shots here and there, but like
you do. No, you do. This is a hypothetical world.
I would never even say there's a hypothetical world where we could break up as content creators. And I feel like after the last month of dialogue behind the scenes, maybe you would acknowledge that.
Yeah, that's true. That's on me.
Come on, man.
Sorry.
God, let's move on. Boogie Fland. It might be nearing a decision. That's what a lot of the smoke is right here. I want to go to a Trilly Donovan tweet. And then there was an Andrew Slater response. By the way, Spider-Man meme, Trilly and Slater.
Streets are talking.
I'm just curious. Yeah, Trilly has said there's some interesting dynamics with Indiana and Kentucky announcing some 4-year series of games. And they're also battling for Boogie Fland. somebody asked Trilly to handicap the Indiana-Kentucky battle. And he has Indiana as a slight favorite. He has Indiana as a plus 135 favorite to land Boogie Fland, Kentucky at plus 140. Then Alabama is still in this. He has them a little further at plus 240. I generally love anytime Trilly like drops some little tidbits like this. Like, I believe strongly he's accurate. I think he's an elite insider, all of that, friend of the show, yada, yada. Andrew Slater quote tweets Trilly's odds to land Boogie Fland and says, "You're way off on one." Again, I'm kind of Spider-Man memeing this, but do you believe that he might be off on one? Like, is somebody out of this recruitment, either Indiana or Kentucky? I would assume that's who he's applying this to. Is somebody out of this more than Trilly is saying they are?
So I think if I'm quoting this correctly, Trilly had Indiana as the favorite, correct?
Slight favorite. Basically a
Like,
toss-up Indiana, Kentucky, lean Indiana ever so slightly.
like, okay, if I was handicapping this, and let this be known, one, I'm awful at handicapping. Two, Trilly definitely has more inside info than me. Three, your ability to nod very fastly when I said I'm not a good handicapper really vigorously threw me off to the point I was going to make, but I'm still going to get back on track here. I think that it's more of a lean towards Kentucky than it is towards Indiana, just because of this reason. In this is my reasoning on this. I think that Coach Cal actually has a very good track record, one with just guards in NBA. Credit to Indiana for what they did as far as getting like Jalen Hood-Schifino there. And they're probably in the lead for guys like Liam McNeely right now. And they've had some good guards come through that program, don't get me wrong. But when you think guards that are really good and guards go to the NBA, like it's Kentucky. They're just on a different level. And I also think that Kentucky has a very good rapport with recruiting in Boogie Fland's area. Like, he's from the New York, New Jersey area. A lot of great guards have come to Kentucky from that area. I mean, DJ Wagner, New Jersey, guys like Isaiah Briscoe, New Jersey. They just got a good rapport at getting guys from there. So I would lean Kentucky on this one, and that's just me taking a shot in the dark guess. But I will say, if he does go to Indiana, I've said this in the Discord many of times, the level of I'll be on Indiana next year will be excruciatingly high. I will say that.
Yeah, we are approaching hours for Indiana basketball. If they were to land Liam McNeely and Boogie Fland back to back, things are going to get really interesting there quickly. Also, you are way better at knowing where players are from than I've ever given you credit for. That's a really special talent, truly. Like, you just like rattled that off on the fly. You were dropping how important that is earlier in the episode. I think you're right. And I think like you might be one of the best in the game at just like casually knowing where player, like, can I name a player and you tell me where they're from?
I could try.
Connor McCaffrey.
Iowa.
Okay. I just wanted to tee you up and see if you stumbled. Nolan Hickman.
Seattle, Washington.
It's crazy to me. How do you know all this?
Grassroots. Got to watch them.
Terrence Williams.
DeMatha.
This is absolutely wild. You're gonna know Michigan. We're gonna play this game more. Good job. I'm gonna flip this though. I don't think Kentucky would be my bet. If I could bet on Trilly's odds, I'm gonna take $100 out and I'm gonna put that on Indiana. I think there's buzz with the Hoosiers right now. I have no inside information. I don't have people feeding me this. This is a Greg Waddell gut play. And like, it feels to me, maybe this is just fan base buzz that means nothing. It feels like Indiana basketball has a lot more at stake with Boogie than Kentucky does. And Kentucky's in elite recruitments all the time. They're going to be fine. They're going to have good guards no matter what. Indiana feels like, if we got Boogie, we're back. That's sort of where I'm at. Not to say they haven't been here, but like you said, we're all taking Indiana so much more seriously if they get Boogie. And no offense to Liam McNeely, who a week ago I said is the most important recruiting win a Big Ten team's had in a very long time. Boogie would be the one to add to that turns everything from, they're kind of good, like they got some momentum, to no, they're here. And I think that matters. Like, my read on this is Boogie has loved his visits, his trips to Bloomington. and all I've heard is positive things. And the fact that we now have an insider like Trilly giving a slight lean to Indiana, I think that's an implication and a sign that maybe it's a bigger lead than a slight lead here. And this could be imminent. That's my read on this. So, man, Candy Stripes could be back.
Yeah. And I know this involves players coming back, but in my head, a lineup next year of Boogie Fland, let's say Gabe Cupps as the other backcourt mate, Liam McNeely as the wing, and Bacot as the 4, Renault at the 5. That's a disgusting team.
It is a disgusting team, 100%. There's only one thing that I would offer up to do differently. And if I am an assistant on Mike Woodson's staff, I'm already trying to like backdoor this. I'm in Boogie Ellis's DMs right now, telling him we're going to need you to fake an injury. We're going to need you to sit out this season. We need a
boogie backcourt.
We need a boogie backcourt, and we'll give you everything. Like, I don't care. We'll name Assembly Hall the Boogie Hall. Like,
see, now this has me pissed off that USC's not in this recruitment because you get me. Well, I want to see Isaiah Collier and Boogie, but you get me Boogie and USC and Galen Center.
Do you know how much money we would collectively bet on whoever had Boogie with the national title?
People are coming looking for stats of how USC plays against zone and how they are on the road on night games. We're like, I mean, their backcourt is Boogie.
It's incredible.
Also, if we're going to the Nasdaq, Boogie Ellis and Boogie Fland.
Yeah. Can't happen though. If Boogie Ellis plays this season, it can't happen. So
please go to Kentucky, Boogie Fland. Please.
All right, final topic of the day. We offered this up. Actually, Coy in the Discord, let's give him some credit, kind of coordinated this. But we said we were open to doing a Sleepers Discord member community preseason poll. And Coy put it together. We put a vote out there that people could vote on. And we have the poll. We have the results. So this is the official SleepWalkers top 17 teams. And 8 honorable mentions. Again, we did 17 in honor of our mid rankings from last year. It was always 17 teams. So here's our top 17. I'll just read them through quickly. Number 1, Duke. Number 2, Purdue. Number 3, Kansas. 4, Marquette. 5, UConn. Notice I'm through the top 5 and I haven't said number 6, Michigan State. Number 7, Creighton. Number 8, Tennessee. Number 9, Arizona. Number 10, Florida Atlantic. 11, Houston. 12, Texas. 13, Miami. 14, Kentucky. 15, Arkansas. 16, Gonzaga. 17, North Carolina. Honorable mentions quickly: Texas A&M, St. Mary's, San Diego State, Maryland, Alabama, Ohio State, Wisconsin, and Illinois. Your thoughts?
Gonzaga making it in the top 17 is a surprise to me. It truly is.
I wonder, I'm curious how much like 1 to 2 voters could swing this. I don't know the details on how many people voted. We have like 50 people in the Discord, I believe, right now.
I didn't vote.
I didn't vote either. I wanted this to be true, like our community. Voted.
Yeah, that's what okay. So that probably explains why Michigan State's at 6. Because I feel like we both would have had Michigan State top 5.
Yeah, I would have had them 5th. I mean, let's just talk.
No, here we go.
No, I would have them 4th. Sorry, not 5th. Marquette's 4th. That's crazier to me than Michigan State at 6. It's just that Marquette is 4. Like, we're really doing this? We're doing this with Marquette? I can buy UConn a little bit. I can't buy Marquette. We're really doing
it. I just don't think that Marquette is there. Like, losing Omax is a really big loss. And yes, I get like there's a lot of hype around guys like David Joplin, but he ain't Omax. And also I don't know if that's necessarily the guy I want to bank on picking up the slack for Omax either. So I don't know. This is obviously they had a really good season last year in the Big East and the Big East tournament, but it's just like, I don't know. It's just not doing it. They don't move me as much as it moves others. Like, this isn't a no-brainer top 5 team to me. They're a top 10 team, but they're not a no-brainer top 5 team.
I would put them 5th, probably 5th or 6th. I could buy UConn's upside more than Marquette's upside, which is why I would buy UConn over Michigan State. Marquette, it's like we just saw it happen. I get Tyler Kolek was injured. I totally get it. But
Marquette is the 3rd best team in the Big East.
That's a little spicy for my
They're
team.
the third best team in the Big East. They
A little
are.
spicy. It's a little spicy. The
Is
Big East
it?
is loaded. The Big East is
Greg?
loaded. Big East
Greg,
is
is it
loaded,
though?
man. Big East is loaded. They got 3 top 7
Give me
teams.
UConn and Creighton over Tyler Kolek and crew.
I love Creighton. I want to see Creighton, but I love Creighton. We also I can't believe this wasn't the first thing we talked about this poll. Duke #1, not Kansas. Despite my best efforts, not Purdue. How surprised are you that Duke is #1? Because I feel like Duke kind of had their moment at #1 on national lists, and then I feel like Kansas sort of became the consensus #1.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it though. I think that obviously on paper you got Tyrese Proctor, you got Flip. Them getting Mark Mitchell back was also huge. He had a really good freshman season. They got guard depth. They got Roach, and with the experience, they got McCain, Caleb Foster. I mean, they got a really good team. They truly do. And also I think people might be docking Kansas for the loss of Arterio Morris. Like he was supposed to be a contributor to this basketball team, and at this point, there's no one to replace him.
Yeah, maybe we got the benefit of waiting to do our poll after that news came out. What's your biggest gripe out of all the gripes you could have at this list? You mentioned Gonzaga. I mentioned Duke being at 1's a little flimsy to me. Michigan State outside the top 5. What's the thing you're most upset about?
San Diego State in the top 25.
National runner-up.
Yeah, and they lose Matt Bradley. They lose Keyshawn Johnson. Darion Trammell is still small. And I think Lamont Butler is going to have a breakout season, but I don't think it's a top 25 team.
Okay. I love
they lose Mensa as well. Like they lost a lot.
I love that we have a large Big Ten slant in this. I think most people's top 25s have 2 Big Ten teams. Ours has 2 in the top 15, and then Ohio State, Wisconsin, Illinois, Maryland, all in the bottom. So 6 top 25 teams in our list, 2 on most lists. I'm mad Wisconsin's here. I thought we had done our job.
Oh, sorry. I didn't. Where were they in the 25 range? Honorable
mention.
So
the honorable mentions aren't in any particular order, but
Wisconsin was in there though.
Wisconsin was somewhere between 18 and 25.
Crazy.
Yeah, that just hurts me. And I know we got Tyler Wall's biggest supporter here, but I don't love it. By the way, where did Tyler Wall come from?
I actually do not know where Tyler Wall came from, but I'm gonna assume Tyler Wall came from Wisconsin.
Hey, can I actually get like a city and a state guess on this? I bet you could probably guess it. I feel like
okay. I'm gonna say he came from either not Milwaukee. Let me think. Either he's from like Madison, Wisconsin, or Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
Can I hint you on this? You should
Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
You got to be creative, but I feel like this is gettable.
Okay.
You got to be creative, but I feel like this is gettable. Like he's not. I'll just say he's not from Wisconsin, but this is gettable. Where would Tyler Wall be from if not from Wisconsin?
Iowa.
Lakeville, Minnesota.
I swear to God, I was gonna say Minnehaha, Minnesota.
Yeah, I mean that would have been on point. That
Damn
would have been a great moment. Good try. Okay. Yeah, I mean overall, I like this list. Shout out to the Sleepwalkers, shout out to the Discord members. I appreciate their interest in this and their effort in this. Everybody that voted, that's awesome. We'll have to update this throughout the season. Marquette at 4, Wisconsin in the top 25. Those are my 2 big gripes. And if you want a more positive gripe, I would have liked to see Kentucky a little higher than 14. I like the teams at 12, 13, 14. Texas, Miami, Kentucky, more than I like the teams at 8, 9, 10. Tennessee, Arizona, Florida Atlantic.
Big Z on the way.
See, he's here. He's home.
He's home.
You know what's crazy? It's great to see an admissions department do their job. It really is.
Shout out to Kentucky admissions.
It warms my heart to see people prioritize education in a way that allows, a kid from overseas to come to America, get one of the best scholarly opportunities you could possibly get. I'm sure he's going to love his time in class. I'm sure that's really why he's in Lexington. And it's just great. It's great to see them afford him that opportunity instead of prevent him from being there. You love to see it.
Can I get one more player to guess before we go to one big thing?
You want one more player guess? Yeah. Let me think of a good one here. Nigel Pack.
Indiana.
Do you have any more specifics on that?
Uh, what city in Indiana is he from?
If you get specifics here, I'll be so impressed.
I know 100% fact that he's from Indiana.
It's from Indiana. Where in Indiana?
I'm gonna guess either Gary or West Lafayette.
He's from Lawrence Central High School in Indianapolis, Indiana.
God damn it.
You're really good at this game. Can I get a Baylor Shireman?
Ooh, you actually might have me there. Actually, he's from Nebraska.
Where in Nebraska?
White Plains, Nebraska.
He is from Aurora, Nebraska. Okay, so I just got to stop asking for cities, apparently, right?
I do struggle with cities. But I could have got high school for Nigel Pack. I could have guessed Lawrence.
Max Asmus.
He's from Missouri?
He's from Texas.
Damn.
Okay. So you're
right.
you're 4 for 6 today. That's a good day.
Okay.
That's one ahead of where I'm at with your word of the day guesses. And I want to go on record right now. You didn't have a word of the day today.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
Don't lie to the camera. You did
I
not.
swear to God, I did.
What was your word of the day?
Do you want to guess?
No, I don't have a guess. My guess was that you didn't have a word.
It was rapport.
I don't even remember you using that.
I used it like 3 times.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. All right. Well, you got me. Good work. I'm now 4 for 8, I believe.
Okay.
50%.
Hey, you're still hey, you're floating.
Hey, some are saying I could miss the next 2 and still be above my bar. I'm a 40% shooter. All right. One big thing today. One big thing. What do you got? Presented by Bigby.
My one big thing is a dad joke, because you've been a dad for how long now? How old is MJ?
She's 4.5 months.
4.5 months. Haven't got one dad joke out of you. Kind of doesn't do me well. So I'm gonna start things off with a dad joke that I heard that I think is pretty damn funny. Okay, you ready for this?
Please.
All right. So a polar bear, he walks into a bar, sits down, says, "Bartender, can I get a rum and Coke?" And the bartender goes, "Sure, but why the pause?" And the bartender goes, I'm sorry, and the polar bear goes, "Well, I don't know. I've always had them."
That's okay. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Are you a dad joke guy? Like, do you love dad jokes?
Well, as my dog was running around at 4:30 in the morning last night, I found myself on TikTok and I was scrolling dad jokes.
I feel like that's a sign that something might be going on. If your TikTok For You page has dad jokes.
One big thing, Greg?
One big thing presented by Bigby. I golfed yesterday. I shot an 84, which is the round of my life for sure. This was at a pretty tough course called Angels Crossing in Kalamazoo area. Like, I was coming in thinking like a 95 would be a good round. Started birdie par, missed 2 birdie putts on 2 and 3, and was 4 over. Shot a 40, a 4 over 40 on the front, and started par on the back, 10 and 11. Ran into some adversity that Cart knows about that kind of messed up the rest of my round. But I'll take an 84. I was a little grumpy, which is crazy to say I was grumpy with an 84, but I felt like I let one slip. Like, I felt like it was an out-of-body experience, and I could have maybe hit an 80 if not for the adversity. So that's, mental midget me. I just collapsed due to a little bit of adversity on the course. But this got me thinking on a positive note. I have the top 5 feelings that you can experience on the golf course, based on like a golf accomplishment, the 5 top things you can do or feel in golf. And I'd like to rank
just on the course
while golfing. Like, these are the top 5 feelings you could feel as a golfer. Number 5, finding your ball when you thought it was gone.
Yeah. Huge.
Like, yeah, you think you're in the shit, you're going to have to take a drop, and you find your ball and it's somewhat playable. That's number 5. Great feeling. Number 4, sink like a 25-foot putt. Not talking like a miracle putt. Like those are cool. That's crazy. But honestly, even when you make those, it's like luck. 25 foot is like, I'm reading this. I think I know what it's going to do. And I got to just go execute. And then you execute it. You walk off like, I'm here today. That's a great moment. Number 3, chipping in from anywhere, like a pretty simple, just little chip, not anything crazy, but like you're just off the green. You're going to go with the pitching wedge. We're going to chip it in. Great feeling. And surprisingly, that might be the strength of my golf game. I just want to go on record with that. That's something I actually do a pretty consistent amount, where I don't do the rest of these very often. Number 2, you step on the tee for your second drive. Like if it's par 4 or something, you're pulling driver twice. You step on the tee for the second time, and for the second consecutive time, you flush your drive in the fairway. The first
one's not a fluke.
First one's a good feel, but the second one, when you do it again, you're like, this is all day. I'm here.
I'm with you, because I was literally in my head about to bring up, like, is hitting that first drive on the fairway in this one? And
no,
okay, I'm with you.
I'm with you. Because it's a great feel, don't get me wrong, but in the back of your head is always, is that going to go away? You step up to the second you do it. This could be a day. And then the number one feeling, I'm curious if you'll agree with me on this. My number one feeling on the golf course is anytime you have like a 100 to 120 yard shot, maybe even up to 150, like you're pulling an iron and you flush it approach shot to tap in range.
Yeah.
There is no better feeling than using an iron and hitting it to tap in range, just pure.
I want to add on to there that you hit it so pure and so good that your partner who you're with is like, that's good.
Yep. Yes. Yeah. You don't even have to putt it. And
you don't even have to putt it.
In the air, you're watching it, and then you might drop like a midair, like, oh, be good. And then the person you're with is like, I mean, that's right there. Like that is the best feeling. That's pinnacle, peak. Wait a second. That was a pro shot for me right there. Everything else, like bad golfers can do. You do an approach shot to 2 feet from 120. Nah, that's great. And coincidentally, that's what I did on hole 1 yesterday for my bird. Just a nice little fairway, 132 yards out to 2 feet. Knew it was going to be a day.
Love that. I like to throw an honorable mention. This might show who I am as a golfer, but getting out of like a greenside bunker and getting in the tap-in range feels really, really good. I want to throw that out there. And then off the course stuff, I mean, the dog at the turn, a nice cocktail at the turn. Has to be in a see-through cup, though. See-through cup with ice and clear straw. And it's got to be a John Daly or a transfusion.
Yeah. Don't mix those, though. pick which one. We had a bad day mixing those. Yesterday I got a high noon and a dog at the turn. I thought you'd be proud of me. I was really I literally had a mental belief. I'm like, oh shit, I just shot a plus 440 on the front. And then we're driving by the little stand. And normally I don't get stuff at the turn. If I'm not drinking already, it's just like a keep it moving. And I had a very deliberate thought in my head that this dog and this drink could get me through to my special round because Carter tells me how critical it is.
I love that mindset. I truly do.
I thought it worked too. Came out par. Like,
I mean, I know you already said you were upset, but 84 is fantastic. What Dave shoot, by the way?
99.
Okay.
Yeah, he played pretty well.
Okay, Dave. Do you do strokes when you guys play?
So we play match play, and we have a little trophy, a little father-son trophy every single time we play. And it has exchanged hands a couple times this year. I've won a couple straight matches, but it's match play, but he gets a stroke every hole. So if we tie the hole and he gets a stroke, he wins. So I have to beat him. Or no, sorry, it's not a stroke. If we tie the hole, he wins. If I beat him by a stroke, I win.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
We should do that with me and you one day, but I need 3 every hole.
I would lose if I gave you 3 every hole.
Maybe not.
You could pull putter and beat me with 3 strokes a hole.
I don't know. That Jersey Jerry and Portnoy video has me ready to do that with me and you.
It would be really fun. We could make really good content out of it too.
Yeah, true.
I guess it requires us to hang out with each other and like each other, which I don't know. In your plans, we're headed for a messy divorce.
Never.
That was such a fake laugh too. Like, God, I feel like you're cheating on me. We need to see the phone logs.
I don't even have the ability to do that podcast wise. You realize how much I depend on you as far as podcasting?
Oh, don't play that game now. Don't butter me up. Weird energy today. We'll be back Thursday. And then Friday's episode, we're going to have that boy D Hill in from a bar in Spain. So you won't want to miss that one. Thanks for being here, everybody. Join the Discord, link in the description of all of our videos, $9.99 a month. We got a new Sleepers newsletter dropping, hopefully tonight or tomorrow, one of the two. And we'll see you. We'll see you tomorrow.